Hey everybody, we're more than a week removed from the NHL's free agency period, and now we're starting to get a look at what the Montreal Canadiens roster could look like heading into next season. Of course, there's still the opportunity to improve the club via trade, but right now the Montreal Canadiens made some moves this offseason, which included David Savard signing as a defenseman to potentially replace Shea Weber on that top pairing and play those shutdown minutes for this Montreal Canadiens team, while also making some depth moves as well, signing Cedric Paquette as well as Chris Wideman on the back end. You can never have too many defensemen, as Marc Bergevin loves to say. Then up front, they made an interesting move, signing Mike Hoffman to a 3-year contract worth $4.5 million per year. The Montreal Canadiens need more pure goal scorers, and Mike Hoffman brings exactly that to the table. He's a power play weapon and does a lot for the man advantage, so it will be interesting to see how they decide to use Cole Caulfield and Mike Hoffman, if they decide to put them on the first unit together or they decide to separate them on their own. But regardless, the Montreal Canadiens have a lot more pure goal scorers on their roster right now than they did over a month ago. It seems as though unless the Montreal Canadiens can figure out a way to improve their center depth via trade, that they're going to go into next season with Nick Suzuki, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Jake Evans, and Cedric Paquette as their 4 centers. And it really, to me, leaves a clear hole in that 2 or 3 center position right now, because we haven't gotten that consistency just yet from Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and there are some health concerns still with Jake Evans down the middle of the ice. He hasn't been able to stay completely healthy because of concussions, and we know that's not really in his control, but it still is a worrisome trend right now. You have Ryan Poehling recovering this offseason from an injury. He should be good to go for training camp, but that's still another position where it's a young player, and we're not really sure what he's going to bring to the table this season, despite him having a very good season last year for Laval. To me personally, I keep coming back to the notion that Christian Dvorak of the Arizona Coyotes would be a perfect fit down the middle for this Montreal Canadiens team. This is a guy that can put the puck in the net and be a playmaker as well, and he brings some defensive value to the table for this Habs team. I really wonder how much it's going to cost from Arizona to get Dvorak to the Montreal Canadiens, but there is already rumors out there that the Habs are interested in the Coyote centerman, but the price appears to be a little too high right now, so we'll see if that does come down. But Dvorak would be a really good fit with this Montreal Canadiens team after they lost Phillip Danault, who signed with the Los Angeles Kings. I know that Phillip Danault provided a really good role for this Habs team, but I just don't see the value in paying him $5.5 million per year over a 6-year term. You want to play your kids, and the Montreal Canadiens look like they're going to do exactly that this season, where they have a lot of young players up the middle, which should be a bit of a cause for concern, especially when there's so many good centers in this Atlantic division that they're going back into next year. But I think you got to just see what you have this season and let them go with the kids down the middle of the ice. So really what I'm trying to say is, if you can find a way to improve your center depth right now with a player like Dvorak, you should do that. But if you can't do that and you can't really find an upgrade at the center position right now, you go with the kids and you see what you have, because that's where the future lies, and it's in the hands of these players like Nick Suzuki and Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Jake Evans, Ryan Poehling. These are all very bright future kids, and the Montreal Canadiens need to see what type of performance they can get from them as they increase their roles. So would I say the Habs are better suited right now than they were last offseason heading into the regular season? I would personally say no. There's just too big of a gap to fill without Shea Weber on their blue line, and I don't think the Habs have done enough yet to improve their defense if you look at their need for a puck-moving defenseman on the back end. And then up front, it's kind of a bit of a wash, especially if you let the kids play it out. I just don't think the Montreal Canadiens are as good of a team as they were right now last season, but that could change if these kids continue to develop. That's it for me today from Cook's Corner. As always, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the Montreal Canadiens throughout the free agency period, and if you think they are a better team going into next season as they are fit right now. I'm Zach Cook. We'll see you later.